Emeryville, Emery Unified School Board. Can we have a roll call, please?
Member Miriam?
Yes.
Member Pats? Here. President Affelt?
Here.
Member Ash here.
You haven't been called yet.
Member Ash?
Here.
All right. She made it.
I'm trying to keep it interesting, guys.
Okay. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this is our special meeting where we're going to interview candidates for the vacancy on the school board. Are there any changes to the agenda, Superintendent?
Good evening. No changes.
Okay. This is the time for public comment when members of the public can comment on any item not on our agenda, but within our jurisdiction tonight. Do we have any public comment? No public comment tonight. Okay. On to our discussion items, which is one item, the interview of the candidates for the vacancy on the school board. We have determined that candidates will be allotted 30 minutes per interview, and we are recommending that they take approximately 3 minutes per question. I guess if they want to go longer on a question, then they're going to have less on another question. But overall, I will end the interview at the 30-minute mark. If time remains at the end of the candidates' responses to our questions, they will be allowed to give a final statement or, at their option, revisit an answer to one of the questions. We will be bringing in candidates individually for the interview, and the other candidates will be sequestered, meaning they will be not in the room and listening to the interview that's being conducted of the other candidates. Candidates will also be asked to leave following their interview and will be notified by phone as to the status of their candidacy. We're going to spend the initial part of the meeting reviewing our interview questions, which Ms. Tamery has kindly printed out and given to each of us. Are there any final thoughts or comments from board members on our interview questions?
When they have the questions in front of them, I'm sorry? Oh, sorry. I see a copy of the questions in front of them. We talked about having the goals in front of them as well, did we not? So when we get
We
to the
did.
question about the goals.
Oh, that's a good idea. Forgot that. Yeah, we'll get a copy.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's a good reminder. Any other thoughts or comments about the questions? Okay, one point is who's going to be asking which question, and our past practice has been to have the question reader rotate among board members. Yeah, I don't don't see any reason to deviate. So if others are in agreement, then we should divide up the questions.
Do we want to just start with you and then just go clockwise?
Sounds good? One way to
Fine,
go?
good.
So clockwise would mean Mr. Merriam second,
Yeah.
and then down to you?
Yep.
And then rotating to, okay, back to me. All right, and everyone gets 2 questions. All right, so I'm 1 and 4.
Hmm?
That's all I need to know.
2 and 5.
No, I'm 1 and 5, actually. Sorry. Screwed you up
Second
there.
that motion.
All right. All right. If there are no further questions about our questions or comments, I think we're ready for our first interview, but our first candidate is not here and is not scheduled to be here for a half hour yet, though Ms. Tamery has indicated that Mr. Bukowski was planning on being here at this time around 6:15. So why don't we adjourn and wait for Mr. Bukowski to arrive?
Okay.
I'm texting these other candidates to see if I can get them to come early.
Mr. Bukowski has kindly arrived early, and we are, let me just lay the ground rules that you missed. But we will be giving each candidate a half hour, 30 minutes. We have 8 questions. We're recommending you take about 3 minutes per question. And if you take more, then we're going to end up at 30 minutes, however, so it's up to you. If you have time left over at the end, you can give a final statement or go back and revisit one of the questions at your option. And then other than that, we're bringing candidates in individually to be interviewed, and the other candidates will be sequestered outside, and candidates will be asked to leave following their interview and will be notified by phone as to the status of their candidacy.
Okay.
Any questions about any of that?
No?
Okay.